Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to turn complex ideas into, well, pure knowledge, just for you.
And today, we're really jumping into something fascinating. It's about leadership mastery. Through the lens of Hervé da Costa, he's known as the CEO Whisperer.
Right, the CEO Whisperer. And we're looking at his method, this quantum leap philosophy, and something called the sweat and soul cycle.
Exactly. It's about self-creation, really. And it's aimed high senior leaders. Think Google, LVMH, Chanel, even UNICEF. These are his clients.
Okay, so this isn't your standard corporate training seminar then?
Not at all. It starts by looking at the dark side of success, as the source material puts it.
The dark side. What does that mean in this context?
Well, it argues that a lot of people who, win the traditional rat race, they still think like rats.
Okay, a rat mindset. Break that down a bit.
It's about scarcity, power, domination, and this real resistance to looking inward. Like, oh, coaching, therapy, that's for other people.
So successful on the outside, but maybe trapped on the inside, like a golden cage kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Still serving the system.
Yeah. And then there's this contrast, right? A new generation.
Yeah, the source talks about internet creators, social workers, healers, people trying to get out of what it calls the AI-empowered matrix.
Wow, okay. That's a strong image.
And their goal is different, too. They want to fight evil righteously. That's the phrase used.
So that's the stage. Where does Hervé da Costa fit in?
He positions himself not as a coach, really, but as a catalyst for truth, clarity, and creation.
A catalyst. Interesting. And his background supports that. It's quite unique.
It really is. He was actually coding foundational internet stuff back in the day. UC Berkeley, Xerox PARC.
No kidding. Xerox PARC.
Yeah. Then scaled tech companies in Silicon Valley. And now this work with global leaders. It's quite the mix.
Tech foundations and deep inner work. Okay, so let's get into the process, this sweat and soul cycle. What's the balance there?
Good question. It's really the engine. Sweat is the action part, the doing, the daily practices we'll get into, rigorous stuff.
Okay, the external.
Right. And soul is the internal work, the clearing out, the introspection, finding that purpose, removing the blocks.
Ah, so you need both. Can't just hustle, can't just meditate.
Exactly. It's a loop. And it all hangs on this core idea. Transformation needs truth, not time.
Truth, not time. I like that. It implies speed is possible, if you're honest.
Precisely. Which brings us to the very first step, the mindset shift. It starts with a simple question from his book. What color is your sky?
What color is my sky? Okay. Sounds almost too simple.
Doesn't it? But think about the anecdote. He asked these high-flying HR managers in Paris, what color is the sky today?
And they say?
Almost all of them said gray. Because, well, it was gray that day in Paris. That was their immediate reality.
I see where this is going.
Exactly. The insight is, the sky itself is always blue. Always.
Right.
Gray is just the color of the clouds, the
Environment.
obstacles, the stuff that gets in the way, the noise.
So the blue sky is the potential, the truth underneath.
That's it. And the first goal is to see past those clouds, that interpretation, and recognize the constant blue. That's step one, quieting the mind.
Because our minds, especially that rat mindset, are just constantly chattering, right? Survival mode, don't trust this, no time for that.
Always scanning for danger.
Yeah.
So how do you quiet that? The techniques are really simple. Experiential.
Like what?
Things like walking in a park and only listening to the trees. Or just counting things you see on the street. Random objects.
Getting out of your head.
Or even focusing intensely on eating. Slowly. Tasting everything. It's about interrupting that neurotic loop.
And this isn't just theory for him, is it? He had his own experience with this.
Oh, yeah. A serious breakdown at his startup, Freegate Inc. He talks about how quieting his mind wasn't just helpful, it was essential for survival, physically and mentally.
Wow. So this is born from real struggle. It shows that clarity isn't some luxury.
Absolutely not. It's an operational need. If your internal OS is noisy, you can't read the external world accurately.
Okay, so quiet the mind first. Then what? How does that clarity turn into vision?
That leads us to step two, mapping the proactive future, visualizing the green curve.
The green curve. Okay, what's the exercise there?
It's a powerful visualization. You imagine two scenarios 3 years out. First, the realistic one, considering all the usual limitations, fears, the path you're probably on.
Okay, the likely path.
Then the second scenario, what does life look like if absolutely everything goes right? No constraints, total success. That's a proactive future.
The dream scenario, the green curve.
That's your true north, the cleared vision. But This is exactly when that other voice pops up, right?
The voice of self-sabotage.
You got it. Whispering things like, you're not smart enough, that won't work here, you don't have the background for this, all that fear-based stuff.
Right. So how do you handle that voice?
That's step 3. Reverse engineering. This is key.
Reverse engineering, how did that work?
Instead of seeing that successful future as distant, you assume it's already done. It's a certainty. Then you work backward from that success to figure out the steps.
Oh, interesting. So you plan from a place of knowing it will happen.
Exactly. It creates this psychological certainty, totally different from the frantic energy of the rat race.
Okay, that makes sense conceptually.
Yeah.
But how do you make that practical, like, day to day?
That's where the core tool comes in, the deliberate morning practice, or DMP. The idea is to make every day $1 million day.
$1 million day. Okay, I'm listening. How does the DMP work?
So each morning, you visualize the end of a successful day. What does that look like? Feel like?
Okay, got it.
Then you reverse engineer that day. What 3 key actions absolutely had to happen for that success to be real? Just 3 core things.
3 key actions. Focus.
Very. But here's the really clever part. You then consult 2 voices, the voice of success and a voice of doubt.
Wait, consult the voice of doubt. Isn't the whole point to overcome doubt? Why invite it in?
But you don't consult it to obey it. You consult it strategically.
Yeah.
It tells you where the potential roadblocks are.
Oh, like reconnaissance.
Exactly. It points out the meeting that always goes sideways, the type of email that sucks you in, the time of day you lose focus. It flags the dangers.
Okay.
Then you use the voice of success to structure your day specifically to navigate around those pitfalls, ensuring those 3 key actions get done, no matter what. Doubt informs the defense, success plans the offense.
That's actually brilliant. Using the enemy's intel against them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you see it work in the example of the law partner.
Right, the one who was totally overwhelmed.
Yeah. Her key green curve action was simple. Regain some personal space. How? She started getting off the subway a few stops early each day.
Just walking.
Just walking. But that deliberate walk gave her the mental space to detach from the workday before getting home. Tiny change, huge impact. It was proactive. It created that upward spiral.
It wasn't some grand gesture, just a small, consistent, proactive step.
Exactly. And these steps, quieting the mind, setting the green curve, they prepare you for stage 2 of the quantum leap.
Clearing. Okay. This sounds like the deeper work, the soul part of the cycle.
It definitely is. This is the hard yards of accountability.
Yeah.
It means removing the clutter.
What kind of clutter?
3 main types. First, mental blocks, old beliefs, past traumas, stuff that holds you back.
Okay.
Second, mediocrity. Things like half-finished projects, habits that just drain your energy.
Yes.
Settling.
Right, the energy leaks.
And third, the ego's illusions. Those stories we tell ourselves about who we are, why we can't do things, why we need certain things to feel okay.
That sounds challenging. Confronting.
It is.
Yeah.
And the source gives a powerful example of the cost of not doing this work. The German IT director.
Yes, the one who kept trying to please everyone.
For 2 years, he fought his own need to please, ignored the problems it caused, and ended up having a serious health crisis. Had to resign.
Wow. So inaction, or avoiding the clearing, was actually incredibly destructive for him.
Totally. His need to please was a huge mental block, an ego illusion. It was only after the breakdown, when he took a new CIO job, that he finally started leading authentically. Meaning he made the tough calls, had to replace or retrain almost half his team. But he did it because he was finally clear on the mission, not driven by needing approval, leading from truth.
That leap from pleasing to leading based on truth, that sounds like real mastery. And this process, this clearing, leads to something called Jedihood.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grand term, maybe.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean for an executive? Are we talking lightsabers in the boardroom?
Not quite. It's meant to evoke that connection to purpose, leading from an egoless state.
Egoless.
Yeah, where it's not about building your brand, your empire. It's just about being you,
Right.
serving the mission purely.
Okay. Can you give an example? The source mentioned a CEO disarming a hostile board. How does an egoless leader handle that? What were those 3 questions?
Right, so the principle is shift the focus off the people and onto the purpose, instead of defending himself or attacking them.
Which is the ego's natural reaction.
Exactly. He asked questions that forced everyone, including himself, to reconnect with why they were there. What was the actual goal for the company? It wasn't about who was right or wrong.
So it bypasses the ego clash.
Completely. It changes the energy in the room, forces everyone back to the shared objective. That kind of presence creates a different reality without using force. That's Jedihood in action.
Presence creates reality. Powerful. Now, staying on this path requires, well, brutal honesty with yourself, right?
Absolutely. Which brings us to another brilliant, simple tool, the three-finger practice.
Okay, sounds intriguing. How does it work?
It tackles our tendency to blame. Think about it. When you point your index finger at someone else, it's their fault.
Hmm.
What are your other fingers doing?
Pointing back at me.
Three fingers, pointing right back at you.
Okay. Simple but profound.
It forces immediate self-reflection. What's my role in this? How am I contributing to this situation I'm complaining about?
And the example was Peter, the client complaining about a crew member.
Yeah, Peter was furious about this drunk crew member on his ship. But using the three-finger tool, he had to look at himself.
And what did he see?
He realized he was being irresponsible in other areas, his own health, how he managed other staff. And crucially, he'd been avoiding the necessary confrontation with this crew member because, well, he didn't like conflict.
So he was tolerating the chaos, partly because of his own avoidance and irresponsibility.
Exactly. The tool forces the question, what am I doing or not doing that allows this problem to persist? It brings the power back to you.
That self-honesty really is the shortcut, isn't it? It cuts through the noise. And this whole journey, quieting the mind, visualizing, clearing, taking responsibility, it circles back to step 6, doesn't it? Honoring your purpose.
It has to. Because that laser-like clarity, that fire you need to keep going through the sweat and soul, it only lasts if the mission is bigger than just your own comfort or validation.
So purpose is the fuel.
It's the sustainable fuel for the whole cycle. It keeps you going when things get tough, when the ego wants to quit.
Okay, let's wrap this up by bringing it back to the listener. DaCosta uses this really powerful origin story.
Oh, yeah. The sperm story. It's incredible when you think about it.
Tell us.
It's the basic biology of it. You, listening right now, you were the one sperm cell that made it. Out of millions.
The odds are astronomical.
He quotes a figure like, 1,000 times less likely you'd make it to the egg than winning the lottery. You literally fought and won the most primal competition imaginable before you were even consciously alive.
You are, by definition, a winner, a miracle of determination.
Absolutely. You're inherently wired for this, which leads to his core challenge.
Yeah. Why would you begin to doubt now about your potential and your chances, given where you started?
It's a powerful reframe.
It really is. Okay, so let's leave our listeners with a final thought to chew on, linking back to that three-finger practice.
Right. The idea that what we tolerate out there often reflects something in here.
So ask yourself this. What's the most common toxic behavior? Maybe it's laziness, maybe it's gossip, maybe passive aggression that you consistently tolerate in other people around you.
And then, the tough part. What might that reveal about a similar kind of behavior, perhaps subtle, that you permit or maybe even ignore in yourself?
That's the next deep dive. Yours to explore.
Until next time, keep looking for that blue sky. Remember, the transformation starts inside.